both boys and girls should practice self-love and acceptance. But the fact of the matter is that we usually ignore our young men when it comes to this issue. And we place more focus on hardening them to be men of the society. I mean, what does that mean? And most of the times, that's counterproductive. So Sheen Lang saw the need to send boys to thrones and not cells. And she's here with that book now. Good morning, Sasheen. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time. How are you?
I'm good.
What inspired the book? I know I said a little bit of it, but I know it's a little bit more than that for you. Yeah. What inspired the book?
Well, I previously wrote a book called The Curly Hair Club, which was primarily for girls, teaching them to love their natural hair and a self of acceptance of self. So I saw the need to write a book for boys because most times people kind of focus on our girls, but our boys also need attention.
Yeah. Do we also believe that girls read more than boys and so we don't create enough literature for boys?
We do, because growing up, I was the one who was given the books. Gifts, birthdays, were always books that I received. And most times the boys that we send outside to play run up and down, and the girls are left inside to read. So I'm trying to change that culture.
All right, so talk to me about this story.
Okay, so Anthony, he grew up in a family where his no father around, just a mother, and his brothers were lighter skinned than he is. He got his complexion from his father.
Okay.
A father he's never known. So right there and then he grew a
his sense of identity is lost.
So his brothers would get more attention from his mother. His mother would treat him as an outcast, not just because he reminded her of the father that left as well. And then he went to school, and you know, in classrooms, there's a thing where teachers or the schools kind of want our boys to hide their hair. They kind of tell to, as your hair starts to grow a little bit, to shave it off. Well, Anthony's hair, as he started to grow, his teacher would always tell him to go to the barber and cut his hair.
Right.
But then there's a teacher that came along with locks who encouraged him to keep his hair. And from that, he started to grow a level of confidence about himself and his skin, and also the importance of his education. So the book kind of brings everything into focus. The love for self, as well as the value for education.
One of the things it also raises is the impact that men have on other men, the kinds of peer pressure that comes with it. So he has a group of young men in his community. They influence him, or at least attempt to influence him, but in a negative way.
Right.
And then there's the substitute teacher that balances that with a more positive influence.
Which is so important.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that. How important is it to find these positive influences or be a positive influence in the lives of our young men?
Unfortunately, in society, we kind of focus mostly on the negative side of our men.
Right.
Right. So when you see young men standing up and being more positive and putting out more positive influence out there for our boys, we need to encourage it. I know there are times that they may falter, but we see them making that effort. We should encourage it and nurture it. So that, especially in the classrooms, if you look in the classrooms, there are little to no teachers. It's mostly female teachers. So when you have male teachers in there, I want them to come out and to show that side, that more positive side, so that the boys can emulate them.
Yes. On that note, good morning, Darian Henry, my good friend and an excellent educator at Cumberland High. Yes. Thrones, not cells, suggests to me that you believe if we don't turn that self-image around, that our young men could be heading in a very bad direction.
Right.
Yeah? Is this something that you'd have observed?
Yes. Most of what I write is based on observance. If they don't take up education, the value of education to love themselves is either one path. Either they choose the path of the kingship that you were born into, that royal thing that our men are supposed to strive to. Then it's the other way, you either go to prison. It's like, it's neither no in between for our boys these days.
Yeah. It raises a lot of things, you know, Sasheen, because you talk about skin bleaching, which I don't think we acknowledge happens with our boys enough. We talk about the way they believe they should be rich overnight, material things, what their values are.
Social media as well.
Yeah, and you're saying that the classroom is a place not just for academic learning, but it's a place where they can impart this type of knowledge. It's an easy read.
It is.
So boys of what age group do you think?
Based on the way I've written it, I would say from ages 7 all the way up to 12, even
7
13.
to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice to read
Yeah.
for a young boy. So parents should get one. Schools should get one. Where do they get their hands on Thrones, Not Cells?
They're available at Kingston Bookshop, UA Bookshop, and also on Amazon.
All right, and it comes with illustrations, by the way.
Yes.
So that's why it's such a great book for them, because they're able to see, visualize,
visualize.
what's happening. It's not just reading, but they'll love the visuals as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congrats
for
on your
having me.
book.
Thank you.
Author of Thrones, Not Cells, Sasheen Lang. That's it for Off the Shelf.